Vancouver has a reputation for being one of the most livable cities in the world. This Canadian city boasts spectacular scenic views, majestic mountains, and a wide range of recreational activities, including snowboarding, surfing, and hiking. Who wouldn't want to live here?
And now a new survey ranks Vancouver as the second most unaffordable city in the world. The survey compared median house prices to median household incomes in more than 300 cities around the globe.
Right now I live at home with my parents, and I'm just currently looking right now like on Craigslist and things like that and Kijiji to find a place to rent. You definitely need roommates. There's no way I could, be able to, even renting on my own would be expensive. It's almost as bad as buying. So, and it's hard because you have to work in a budget that other people are looking at too. And so it kind of becomes a little bit of a struggle.
Despite the desire to live in a city overlooking mountains and the sea, fewer and fewer people are able to afford living in Vancouver. It has become the second most expensive housing market in the world, with Hong Kong being the first. The average detached home is now worth $1 million, which cannot be explained by local incomes that are well below the average of major Canadian cities.
I make an annual income of $35,000 a year. I'm looking kind of under the mark, hopefully under $850, maybe somewhere like around $700, but that's kind of wishful thinking.
The lack of affordability has been attributed to a few reasons. Vancouver's geographic location poses constraints to urban development due to the lack of available land.
We do have a constrained land supply, mainly due to our geography. We are surrounded by the mountains. We have limits on the west by the water, and of course on the south by the U.S. border.
Interest from foreign property investors has caused a surge of inflation in Vancouver's housing market.
Currently, right now, a lot of Asian money is coming over. They're making investments into a lot of housing properties out here, so just so they can store their money as a form of property, as their equity.
In fear of alienating the Chinese community, Gregor Robertson and his candidates have been tentative to address this issue. Low interest rates have made mortgage payments more affordable despite rapidly growing housing prices. In response, there has been a noticeable increase in condo development. However, new numbers indicate a large number of condos in the Greater Vancouver Regional District remain unoccupied. For example, 23% of condos in Vancouver's highly sought-after Cole Harbour neighbourhood are sitting empty. Vancouver also has a notorious homeless crisis, which the government addresses by providing social housing programs. But what are those who do not qualify for government subsidy and are not able to compete in the current housing market supposed to do?
Aside from living out in sort of more in like Langley, where I currently do reside now, it would be moving into a different province such as Alberta to establish myself in my career and then moving back.
Probably just moving out into the less populated areas, farther away from the downtown core.
Basically only renting, maybe like if my parents have another place, like they could have like a coach house maybe that I could live in, pay rent to them.
Apart from like living in the other parts of Vancouver, like Langley and Mission, I don't currently live anything else now.
I have seen the prices all over Vancouver and like suburbs. All the prices look way too high to like afford anything at any point in my life.
I don't think I can own property in Vancouver.
I don't think I'm going to ever be able to own a place in the Lower Mainland.
As a young individual going into the workforce, there's more pressure on me to meet that higher paying job in order to live in the place that I want to live.
There's no way buying is even an option in my mind. Condos are like $400,000, and that's only that would only be affordable if I had like a partner or someone that I was committed to.
The 2006 StatsCan census report identified a housing affordability problem amongst 44% of renters and 23% of owners in British Columbia, who are spending more than 30% of their annual income to keep a roof over their heads. While British Columbians generally earn less, the average annual household income for all Canadians is $87,000, which can get you a mortgage estimated at $460,000. Any market where the average price of a detached house is more than $100,000 above the $460,000 mark is understood to be unaffordable. With the current state of the Vancouver housing sector, many find themselves in a position that doesn't allow them to buy into the market. These individuals have to relocate elsewhere or are deemed to rent indefinitely, making it difficult for them to save up to buy a place of their own.
So what do you know about what the government is doing to address housing affordability in Vancouver?
Nothing.
No idea. I don't actually know they're doing anything. I'm not sure.
I don't know anything.
Not much at all, actually. I haven't heard of any regulatory things that are going on.
I love Vancouver. We are a great city. As your mayor, I've learned a lot, and I've seen what we can do together. I believe passionately that we can do even more. I'm committed to meeting our challenges, seizing our opportunities, and leading the world. I would be honored if you give me the opportunity to continue as your mayor. So I'm asking for your vote.
Third-term Vancouver Mayor Gregor Robertson stated affordable housing priorities focus on increasing supply of rental housing by developing 1,000 units per year. Other suggested alternatives to making the housing market a little better include the construction of laneway houses, townhomes, and row houses. But how does this help the market in the long run? Vision Vancouver's plans will build upon the broken infrastructure of the housing crisis and does not address the root of the issue. We need to enact laws that protect the interests of Vancouverites who want to live in the city they call home. This may involve taxation on foreign real estate investors or restrictions on foreign investment altogether, as demonstrated by our neighbors in Australia. So, is Vancouver really the most livable city in Canada?